Welcome to Phonogenics 101, a Riotboy production hosted by Jeremy Gloff. The podcast where people who love music discuss albums track by track. Please hit subscribe, and if you'd like to support this podcast, patreon.com/Jeremy Gloff or Venmo @Jeremy Gloff. And now, on to the music. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Phonogenics 101. This is a podcast where we take an album, we discuss it by track. We take an artist, we go through the whole discography. We start with the first song, we end with the last. We speak from the heart, we speak from memory. We make an occasional mistake, and you can kindly correct us in the comments. Kindly. Thank you very much. This is my Eurythmics family here. We started with In the Garden, went through the whole Eurythmics discography. Now we're going through the Annie Lennox solo albums. Thanks to my Patreon subscribers. A little plug for myself. I have a new album coming out September 6th. It's a collaboration project with the band Shower Beers, SB times JG. So I'm happy to say I got the masters turned in Saturday night at midnight in time for the CDs to be done. So it's been a busy week. We have a new person on our panel, Lynn Foster Robinson.
Yes.
Robinson. I need my glasses. Yep. Lynn Foster. So congratulations, Lynn, one last time.
Thank you. We
are here tonight discussing Annie Lennox's 2003 album, Bare. She did go on tour in 2004 after it was released. And Eurythmics had reunited in 99, so we had not heard from Annie since then. I remember this album coming out, 2003. Madonna it was around the same time as Madonna American Life, same year. It was like, that's when the boy bands, Britney was out, you had all that stuff. So it was the landscape that this album came out in was much different than even when Peace came out. Wouldn't you all agree?
Oh my, yes.
I mean, the internet was in full swing. Things were just so different. So it was kind of surprising. I remember you didn't hear from Annie a lot. So getting a new album in a new era, it was really welcome to me. So what are your guys' some of the memories of Bare entering your world?
Well, she did a solo tour before the album came out. So you were hearing songs. Well, I went to the second and third concerts on the U.S. tour. The first was in Miami. I didn't go to that one. We went to the one in Tampa.
Which I missed. It was right down the street from me.
Seriously, really? And you didn't see
it?
No, at the Tampa Theater, right?
I don't remember now. But
it was a small venue, though, I believe.
And then the next one was 2 days later, I think, in Atlanta. And we drove from Tampa to Atlanta. And so we were hearing these songs before there was an album to hear. And she did Pavement Cracks. I wrote all this down. 1,000 Beautiful Things, Pavement Cracks, Honestly, which she didn't do very long in the set on the tour, Wonderful, and Bitter Pill. Does anyone remember if she did anything beyond those five? She did Loneliness on the 2004 tour with Sting, but I don't remember if she did Loneliness on the solo tour. Does anybody remember?
I'm pretty sure I thought she did. I saw her at the Apollo. I'm going to look it up. I mean, I could look it up. I also saw her in London for this tour.
Yeah.
But remember how you felt about these new songs? How, you're hearing new Annie Lennox songs. What was your thoughts?
Oh, it was amazing. So there was a lot of it that she was touring again. She hadn't toured since Peace in 1999. She'd done the Central Park concert, but that was it.
Right.
So just the shocking thing, not only was that she had a new album coming out, that she was touring. I mean, that was incredible. And she was wonderful. She was absolutely mesmerizing.
Has she done a solo tour since then? Since this?
Yes. She did one with Songs of Mass Destruction. The tour was called Scene.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, yes.
She had 3 tours. solo, and then the one with Sting, and then Sing with Songs of Mass Destruction. So, but the solo tour was all Annie, and the best of the solo tour. I mean, just so wonderful. Eurythmic songs and Annie songs.
Yeah, my friend went to the Tampa concert, and to this day, like 20 whatever years later, he won't let me forget that I didn't go.
Oh, well, well deserved criticism.
Well deserved. Oh,
this is a shirt from the concert. Oh yeah.
In my defense, I was Poe back then. I didn't really start going to concerts until a couple years later when I wasn't Poe anymore. But anyway, so we started hearing about the album on the internet. The album is called Bare, so it's another one-word title. We have Diva, then Medusa, then Bare. I do love a good series. I always love a series. Let's talk about the album cover next. Now, Annie did write something on the back cover of the album talking about, it seemed a little pretentious. I felt like it seemed like a little bit, but it really it lived up to what she was saying, which made it work for me. Like if any other artist would have put something like that, I'd been like, okay. But for Annie, I'm like, okay. What do you guys think of this album cover?
I love it. It's amazing.
It was pretty unique. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
It was all Annie Lennox. I'm going to do whatever the hell I want to do. And I think she wrote that, Jeremy, because the record company didn't want her to do it.
Okay, that makes more sense.
She had, and of course she'd done, this is, I think, in essence, a selfie. I mean, she did this photography, and she'd done this series of photography that she did I think in New York, she had a photography exhibit. But, this is her doing. This is everything. And I think, and I don't know, Jeremy, but I always got the sense, because there was the discussion that, that the record company's like, no, don't do that. And I think, so she said, well, if you want me to, I'll explain what I'm doing, if that'll help.
Fair enough. Okay.
But, who knows? But I thought it was a bold choice.
As a little side note, I feel like all the imagery coming out for the new Taylor Swift album today has a lot of diva reminiscing for me with what is it, like the life of a showgirl, and all the pictures have her with like the feather on. I'm like, we've seen this before.
Really? I've not seen it. Well, that's interesting.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so for those that don't have this album, on the back, Annie's just talking about how this is not a photoshopped image. She wants to show her as an aging woman. She wants to be very authentic, and you can't argue that Annie Lennox is absolutely authentic. And I feel like very few artists can talk the talk like she can. Like I said, I feel like if some other people had written something like that, you'd be like, oh. But with Annie, it's straight from the heart. And I feel like a cover like this, daring in 2003, imagine if someone did something like that even now. Like, the world is even more filtered and false than I feel like it was in 2003. So, I will say, listening to this album in the context of 2025, it still resonates. It was fresh to me. It says a lot of things that maybe didn't even land at the time, and that seems to be a theme throughout these podcasts. I remember when we did Peace, especially me and David, there were things that were like, oh, I kind of counted this one out, but holy crap, like this is really hitting today. So I feel like Annie kind of was ahead of her time in her emotional maturity and writing about things that hit even harder in the context of where society has gone. So I also like the font is very 2003. Like, this is kind of like a modern Annie Lennox album at the time. All right, does anybody else want to share any memories of the lead up to this release? Lynn, did you do a drive through? Where were you? I always like to hear where Lynn is and what you did.
Where was Lynn? Lynn was peripatetic as usual at that point in her life. In April of 2003, I lived in New York. And so I went to the Apollo concert at the Apollo Theater, which is a story into itself, because it's very interesting as you're lined up on 165th in Harlem. for an Annie Lennox concert and can't get let in. Let's just say that. I mean, we're waiting a long time. And then after the concert, which was great, car service stopped after a certain time. So we had to sort of share cabs back down into Lower Manhattan. That's what I remember of that part. In May of that year, I moved to the UK and lived in Wales. So yeah, there I was. And I went to London for the Bare concert in like June 3rd or 4th. And I met Steve Gaylor for the first time, which is monumental right there. And Joanna Frank. No, I knew Joanna at that point, and a lot of people. And so, yeah, that's where I was. I saw 2 concerts, 2 continents, 2 countries.
Was the Apollo show where there were a lot of celebrities? Was it Rosie O'Donnell there? Kind of.
Repeat that, Mark?
Was it the Apollo show where there were a lot of celebrities? Was it Rosie O'Donnell?
Oh, yeah.
I remember reading about that.
Wow.
Yes. Yeah, there were.
All right. Well, would anyone else like to tell some stories about their memories of this album entering the universe?
I remember when, in the early days, Thousand Beautiful Things demo got leaked before the album release. I don't know if you remember that, Mark and Lynn, because we were on the chat group at that time, and this little MP3 went whizzing around, and we were also desperate. Oh my God, it's new music by Annie Lennox. We all downloaded it, of course. But I remember through the grapevine we heard that Annie was really pissed about it, and rightly so. I do remember that. Do you?
A slightly different mix. Am I remembering that correctly?
Yeah, it was pretty rare, pretty rough. It was a demo, but it was the same song for sure. I remember that happening.
Yeah, I remember that now that you said that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to hear it.
Yeah, me too. A little further context too, for those that may not be familiar. Annie Lennox had gone through a lot of personal stuff in the writing of this album, correct? A divorce, aging, and in the notes she said, she's really dealing with like some midlife existential crises and really tackling them through the writing of these songs. The album was well received at the time. I remember a lot of really great reviews. I remember last month we talked about how everybody had Medusa. Well, not everybody had Bare, but a lot of people did. This wasn't a cult album by any means. People were still buying Annie Lennox and playing her. There were no singles in the UK, correct?
No.
And in the United States, there were only the dance singles released. So it's interesting that there wasn't that, the huge single push and stuff. You wonder how this album would have done had it gone the more traditional route with the singles. And, there was a video for Pavement Cracks, but it wasn't a big flashy one, right?
Well, it wasn't released. It made it onto YouTube years later, but
okay,
it made a video, but it wasn't released. And I was reading earlier, Jeremy, that the record companies on both sides of the Atlantic sort of got together and said, well, the landscape of pop is different than the last time she had a solo album.
Right.
Supposedly they decided that, well, we're not going to release any commercial singles. That was a decision. And like you just said, you do sort of wonder, had they done that? I mean, and I will never understand it, but I also think there might have been some of Annie's reluctance to it. I think this was a very, very, very personal album. And I think she was reluctant. I think it was one of those things. I have nothing but to base this on except, a perception of what was going on at the time. That she sort of, here's the music, I'm going to let it speak for itself.
Right.
And I've always thought if she had gone and done a huge amount of interviews, that it would have changed, again, the perception of what people had, that people would have connected to it. Because it was born out of a really hard time in her life. And I
agree with you, Mark. I remember feeling a sense of huge disconnect between the traditional singles, promotions, TV appearances. All that was completely missing when this album came out.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, That's unusual. The album is sort of just simmering underground there, and it's not really out there in your face. Feeling that that was strange for someone
Did you not
who's
do
especially
any?
Yeah. The most I heard about this album is because I was like, I had different seasons of Jeremy the Club days, but at that time I was going to a lot of clubs in Tampa, and Pavement Cracks was a huge hit at the clubs. So it was interesting that the most I heard Annie Lennox was at the gay clubs with the
Yeah,
remixes.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, all three of those singles in the U.S. that were geared toward the dance, all three number ones. I mean, again, you're just like there was this strange, this is big and not doing it. So she did the New York art exhibit of her photography, but that was it.
Oh, yeah.
She did do a wonderful 1 hour interview on the Charlie Rose show.
Yes.
That was brilliant.
If
Yeah.
you haven't watched that, find it and look it up. It's the best interview, I think, that she's ever done. It's a great interview, and she's so open, and she's not just, again, we're talking about that she went through a difficult time and she made an album about it. And she's not distraught in any of these. I mean, I don't. It's really hard to understand. It's absolutely difficult to understand the promotion of it, the non-promotion of it. It debuted in the US at number 4.
Right.
That's the highest she's ever been on the charts here. Eurythmics or Annie Lennox. That's the highest album she ever had. And it's almost gone platinum here. Not quite yet. I don't have exact numbers, but so it's a strange thing. But I think, and also, she had to bring Steven Lipson back in because apparently she had recorded the album. Am I right about this, people?
Yeah.
She recorded it or was working on it, and so she had to bring Steven Lipson in to sort of fix it. I don't think she was happy with where it was going. Does anyone else know that? Is that
No,
correct?
I know. But go ahead, Lynn.
So I would just I did look up, and she did do the Today Show for this, and she sang Pavement Cracks because I did remember kind of that. She did a live on BBC one session. She did that at the 46664 concert, jumping ahead in 2005. That was the Nelson Mandela. So she didn't do much, just just the Today Show.
Yeah, no videos from somebody who was,
video person. Yeah.
tied to video, nothing there. But she's on this tour. She's doing a tour. She hasn't toured since 1999, but she's on this tour. I mean, it's
That's so Annie to just totally do her own thing. And I guess maybe to her, like, she just didn't want to go around just talking about all that crap. She's like, it's in the songs. You can find it all there.
I think that's the only thing I could think, that this is it. You can listen to it. You can draw your own conclusions. I'm not going to talk about it.
Yeah.
Now,
I'm not going to do it.
Speaking of Steven Lipson, one of my earliest impressions of this album, the first time I played it, and I still think this a tiny bit, is we are so used to hearing with every Eurythmics album, there was kind of a different sound. You know what I mean? Like, to me, Revenge doesn't sound like Savage at all, which doesn't sound like We Two Are One, which doesn't sound like Peace. Everyone really had a vibe of its own. But with Bare, it's the first time that I felt like it's kind of the same sound again. Like, there were things on Bare that really reminded me of Medusa and Diva, and I was not used to Annie Lennox kind of having the same sound across more than one album.
It was definitely, I don't know if I would agree that it had the same sound, but it definitely had the same sound throughout it. It was a sad album. I mean, it was definitely sad. I remember playing it with my family in Wales, and they were like, stop playing that. It's too sad.
I
agree.
I was in Washington, D.C. when this came out, and I was in, how they'll have a club or something, and there was a piano there. And this was like mid-afternoon, so it wasn't like when it was crowded. And I was actually playing Sweet Dreams on it really low. And one of the workers came by and she said, "Are you playing Sweet Dreams?" And I said, "Yeah." And we got to talking, and I said, she's got a new album out. And I was talking about it. And she said, well, what's it like? And I was telling her, and she said, oh, when is that woman ever going to be happy?
Oh gosh.
So, it was sort of like, well, and she knew who she was, and she loved her, but it was like she had this perception of like, oh, it's sad.
I did feel like, the darkness really kind of did take over this album more than other ones, which is reflective of what she went through. But even like Diva, she tacked on like Keep Young and Beautiful to kind of, but wait, things are okay. But I think it was daring of her to just fully submerge herself in that feeling of.
Took a whole nosedive into it in this one. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's where I sort of get a little bit of Eurythmics in this, where it is often the subject matter is sad, but there's that Eurythmics quality to it where there's a lot of upbeat music. You know what I mean? There's that juxtaposition that Eurythmics always did really well, sometimes, and so you get a little bit of that. And there was some quote. What was this from? And it talks to that. I'd written it down. Oh, something called Into the Pop Void. And there's a quote from the review: best example in pop of bleakness being uplifting. I thought that was an amazing description of this album. Bleakness being uplifting. I love this album. I have to say, I adore this album. I think it's her best solo album. It's on equal terms or better, in my opinion, than Diva. It's an incredible album.
I don't think I can go that far with this one.
And Stephen Lipson, and I may be wrong about Stephen Lipson on this, but Stephen Lipson said before it came out, he called it a career-defining album. And from a sales perspective, it didn't turn out to be that. But I wonder if it isn't a career-defining album simply because of what she did with it, that she was so open about her life and that she's never really done before.
I do feel, for me as a music lover and Annie Lennox lover, this is an album that I don't pull out very often. I think it's a great album, but I'm just not very sad very often. And I just say it goes to a place where I don't necessarily want to go. I'm glad it exists. And I hope this is never a huge album in my life, because that's not a good sign.
But that's the thing. It doesn't make me sad. It's that thing that bleakness through uplifting. But the thing is, and I've tried to remember, Jeremy, I was trying to remember earlier, I was listening to it with headphones and just taking it all in. If there were moments back in the day, back when it was first released and you're just, kind of letting it take over, did it make me sad? Did it move me to tears at some point? That's why it's just, but I love that. And I love melancholy. And I let myself go into melancholy all the time. It speaks to me more than any other thing she's done. This as a whole.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like in the past, Annie had done a lot of melancholy, kind of shrouded with a little camp around it. But she took out that camp aspect on this album, and you're just left with the melancholy. There's still the pop songs and, the great hooks. But there isn't like the imagery of the diva and the walking on broken glass to kind of counterbalance the cold. Lynn, you had your hand up.
Well, and I guess, it's more when we start going through songs. This song really spoke to me because I have had, and I've told you that I've had depression throughout my life, and not unlike Annie. It's sort of like little Annie happy at last, because I think she seems happy now. It's sort of like little Lynn happy at last.
Oh, good.
So I sort of identify with a lot of what she's gone through. Different lives I have.
Different content.
But there are songs that really spoke to me. and when we start going through them, I'll tell you why. But yeah, there are songs that in this one that really get me.
Mm.
So, David,
Had
you're
that whole debate about, in our message today
oh
about comfort zone.
oh yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah.
David, you're a little quiet. I'm curious. Are you going to give us a little glimpse of what you think of the album, or should we wait until we go into the track by track?
Okay, I will add a couple of things based off of what you guys already said, right? So, like I listened to the whole album today too on earphones, and I have to say that I love a lot of, well, like 4 songs I think are really good, right? And we'll get into that later, but it really kind of like brought my energy down because it is kind of depressing, and it gets, I mean, it has a couple of flare-ups, but it's depressing and slow, and I don't like my energy being taken away.
Especially like right now, for me, the world is so bleak that
Yes.
I'm more likely to put on like, I don't know, something to get kind of lift me up a little bit. But this is a great album, and I'm very, very glad it exists. So I just
Yes.
want
Me
to
too.
say that. All right, shall we go into the track by track? Is there anything else anyone wants to add? All right. Well, I did have a couple of the samplers. I'm sure everyone has all this stuff. The few different ones. I have the Thousand Beautiful Things little promo single. There's a little dance remix CD here that I have. The opening track, A Thousand Beautiful Things. When I was listening to this, I feel like this song kind of picked up where Peace left off a little bit with the orchestration, and kind of that bridge felt a little Eurythmics-ish to me, more so than Annie usually goes on her solo albums. It sets the tone for the album. Things suck. Let's find 1,000 beautiful things. But it's a great album opening track. What are your guys' thoughts on this song?
I love it. Oh, sorry.
Go on, David.
I love it. I think it's beautiful. What have I done? Oh, I like how, because I think it's good advice. Like, after listening to it today, I'm thinking about maybe every day I need to write something, that reminds me. Because like Jeremy said earlier, like I'm very sidetracked by America right now with what's going on. You know what I mean? I don't want to get deep into that, but I'm very sidetracked. I just like, I have to stop listening for a while. And maybe it would help if I write things down that make me happy, or one thing down that day and go do it,
Yeah. A little self-care.
Yeah.
All right, Lynn, you started.
So I love this song, and I think it sort of has a duality to it because yes, it is sad, but then I think it's really positive in that we, thinking of all the good things. I do sit down and I often do write 5 good things that happened to me in a day rather than 5 bad things. I mean, there's a thing, I've trained myself throughout my life. I'm a glass half full person versus a glass half empty. I work in healthcare where every day we're talking, we're a nonprofit. So every day we're talking about all this stuff with Medicare and stuff and what's coming up and how our patients might lose care or in at the end at some point. And it's really disturbing to have to get through that without coming apart. So I do have to think about the good things rather than the bad. But going back from even that to the past, I do think of the good. There's a thing called you think roses, thorns, and buds. What are the good things? What are the bad things? What are the things that are, coming? So I do like this song for that. It's
Lynn,
beautiful.
I knew there was another reason I loved it. I didn't realize we were both nonprofit workers.
Oh gosh, yeah, I've been working. I worked in nonprofits for years. Yeah.
Oh gosh, we'll have a side discussion one of these
Okay.
days.
Yes, definitely.
Did you know I worked for Meals on Wheels?
I
That's my thing.
did. I think that's great. Yes. I work for an FHQC, which is a federally funded healthcare center that is for the migrant workers,
Oh, okay.
extensively in Oregon and the underinsured. So we're very nervous.
Yeah, things are going to be interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Who'd like to go next? A Thousand Beautiful Things.
Oh,
Well, I'll go. One thing you'll hear me talk about tonight and you hear me talk about it a lot, but the lyrics. And she excels on this album, without a doubt. But there is the part that I always love to quote. But I thank you for the air to breathe, the heart to beat, the eyes to see again, 1,000 beautiful things. And all the things that's been and done, the battles won, and the good and bad in everyone. This is mine to remember.
Yeah.
She's an absolute poet on this album.
Yeah.
And, this album is the stages of grief: denial, anger, bargaining, depression, acceptance.
Good old Dabda.
This is the acceptance. And on another podcast that I do, and that we did Bare 2 or 3 years ago, and my co-host is Rex Saldana, who does the wonderful Eurythmics website, Eurythmics Video Visionaries. But he had an idea about this album, that you should listen to it backward from and all the way through, and it's a better listening experience. You start off with "Oh God" prayer, and you go and you end with 1,000 beautiful things.
wow.
So try that, because it's a fascinating concept.
Would that album be called E-Rab?
I don't know, but click the end instead of this.
All right, Mike, I feel like you're not saying much, and I'm dying to know what's lurking beneath that smile. What are your thoughts on 1,000 Beautiful Things?
I like everybody said, it's a gorgeous song. It's absolutely beautiful. It's lyrically, it's right on point with what Lynn you just said and Mark. Yeah, it's a beautiful song, and it's about gratitude and stopping and pausing to reflect actually what we have rather than what we have not. It's a delicate, vulnerable, and powerful song. I love it. It's absolutely beautiful.
I love the twists and turns it takes, because like a great Annie Lennox or a great Eurythmic songs, it goes from being major key, majestic, to kind of sinister, back to major key. Like it takes that journey that only Annie and Dave can take you on.
I will say the CD single, the promo single, you've probably seen that, right?
Yeah.
It's a little different to the album version. I don't know if you've ever noticed that. There's a lot more instrumentation going on in the background, and there's more vocals, there's more harmonizing, and the whole overall effect is much more lush and not as, no pun intended, as bare as the album sounds. And I much prefer this CD single sound. It's just softer, more melodic, and more interesting. So,
Interesting.
yeah. That's all.
All right. Any other thoughts on 1,000 Beautiful Things? All right. I'm not going to even do the thumbs up or down, because I feel like we're mostly going to let's do it. Thumbs up. All right. So Pavement Cracks. This is the song that I love this song, but the first time I heard it, I'm like, oh, this reminds me of Little Bird a little bit with the production. And this is the one that I felt like harkened back to Diva a little bit with some of the production flourishes. Of course, it's its own song. I think it's a great song, but I was not used to hearing Annie kind of repeat herself in the production. That said, I danced many a night to the remixes at the gay clubs in Tampa. What are your guys' thoughts on this song?
It's one of my favorite songs of all time. I'll just say that.
Yeah, it's a great song.
Jeremy, you're absolutely right in the song structure. I think the song structure is very much like Walking on Broken Glass. It's very much like Dark Road. Annie has a way about her, especially with her solo songs. There are certain, verses, and there's going to be sort of a crash on the chorus. She has a way about her on certain songs, but I think you're right on that, in the sense that there is formula that she's got on certain things. But this song kills me. I can listen to this all the time. It is literally, ringtones. This is the ringtone that wakes me up in the morning.
Mm.
I mean, so I mean, I just adore this song. I think it's one of the best songs she's ever done.
Yeah, I mean, to take the subject matter of what she's talking about it, and it's just like there's a little hope in there, just like she's singing the lyrics, and definitely one of her best songs. David or Mike, what do you guys think?
You want to go, Mike?
You go.
Okay. All right. So Pavement Cracks, I agree. It gives me everything I love about Annie in one song. It was like the song I was waiting for after the Eurythmics. Now, I don't want to discount anything on Bare, but I love this song. It's one of those songs that I listen to, like, ever since I've heard it. I listen to it. If I pull it up on Apple Music or whatever, I think this song is it's so great. Now, I actually have a question for everybody and I probably don't know all the versions, but my favorite is the album version. Is there a better one out there?
No. Is there a better version? No. There is a promotional CD that you can find that's called the AC as an Adult Contemporary radio mix, where they added a little bit of a kind of a thump to the beginning, where it lead in, and there's some very harsh edits where they kind of shrink the song a little bit. So there is another sort of mix to it, but it doesn't come close to.
Is it that one?
Yeah.
And there's
no, but I don't think it's on there. Is it the AC?
Nope, the AC is only on this CD. It didn't even have a cover.
AC, that's it. Yeah.
And then there's one called the Radio Remix promo. So there were a couple different promos with different mixes. Here comes Nick.
But the remixes are great. There's one, I think it's the New Romantic mix that I love the most. They're pretty good. I mean, you have to get through the first minute of nothing but, drum beats or something. But once the remixes start, they're pretty good. But
now, Mike, I want to go back to the first song and welcome, Nick. We're only on song 2, so we're going to have you jump in a second. The promo you have of 1,000 Beautiful Things with the different production, is that version on this promo CD also, or is it unique just to that one?
From what I can remember, it's unique to this.
Interesting.
There's a series of promo discs, all in the same font and style. Wonderful, 1,000 Beautiful Things, and Pavement Cracks. They're all very similar. This sort of thing. But this is quite unique. Yeah.
Interesting.
And I don't know if I've ever, I don't know if I have that on my music, that version. I'll have to check and see.
Yeah. It's quite different. It's quite, like I said, a much fuller, more melodic sound. I really like this much better.
All right, well, Nick, we're only on track 2, so if you want to get caught up to speed, what are your thoughts on 1,000 Beautiful Things, the first song?
So I can talk about the first 2 tracks, and I'll more or less mesh them together because I found them to be unusual openings to the album, given that they are very downbeat, down tempo, a bit of a slow start in general from what I noticed, and it took a bit for them to grow on me, and I would say that they have yet to grow on me, actually, for that matter. But I can always give it another chance. I don't want to completely be dismissive of it, given that she probably put a lot of heart and soul into this album. Yeah. It's just not for me at the moment.
And I think not necessarily with this album, but I always have to be careful when I'm looking at an artist's work. Just because somebody went through a lot and they put a lot of heart into something doesn't always make it a classic album. Not saying that's the case with this one, but that does happen sometimes where you're like, oh man, the backstory of this album is so riveting, and you know how much they suffered to put it, but not make for a classic all the time. All right, who else wants to talk about Pavement Cracks?
I'll just reiterate what Mark said. The structure of Pavement Cracks is almost an exact blueprint for Dark Road, with that slow build and the great chorus, and then an amazing bridge, and then right back again. But like Nick said, a very slow introduction, which can almost lose you before it takes off. And those two songs I see are almost direct copies of each other, Dark Road and Pavement Cracks. And they're both stunning, but it takes a little bit to get into it.
And I think Pavement Cracks is the superior song, lyrically and production wise. There is that very connection. But I think the part that grabs me, all of it grabs me on this. And, it is this melancholy song, but, she's got this great rhythm with, love don't show in the pavement.
Yeah.
You can't help, but that's an earworm. You're going to hear that all day. But, she has the bridge, and then she comes, listen, if you're listening to it with headphones, the amount of sonic vocals that you're getting in on the bridge and out of the bridge and into the next chorus, where is my comfort zone? A simple place to call my own, because everything I want to be comes crashing down on me. I just love that. Just love it.
And we did have some controversy in our group chat about the comfort zone line. Are we pro or con comfort zone here?
Pro.
Absolutely.
I love this song. I start to finish, it's so beautiful. It's a city girl, I can just hear it, feel it, taste it in every way. Whether I was in New York or London, which is where I was kind of in that one, it just spoke to me. And the comfort, what is the line? Give me strength to.
Yeah, give me strength to live. That's the bridge. How come every day I'm still waiting for the change? How come I still say, give me strength to live? And she goes.
Well, see, that was just me at that. See, if you put these podcasts together, you'll find out my life. No, but I had just come out. I was just coming out of my severe grief of losing I'd come out of losing a good friend, my parents, going through 9/11. And living in New York, and then I moved to London, and then I was in the UK, so I was coming out of so much grief. So this kind of was one of the songs that sort of helped me sort of get to where I am now. And that line of where is my comfort zone? I went to Wales, and I moved in with my cousins, who were kind of my cousins. They're distant cousins, and they were sort of crazy Scottish people who won't listen to this podcast. and I remember saying to somebody on our group, our Eurythmics group, Joe Frank, I can't find my comfort zone. I can't find my comfort zone. And she knew exactly what that was. I was just sort of like, I would text her in the middle of the night. Yeah. So it was, it really spoke to me, and it helped me get through it, because I guess, you think if somebody else can get through it, that you can. If Annie Lennox can do it.
I was thinking of this earlier when I was talking about, because I think there are parts of this song that at some point in my life, and maybe still, could make me cry.
Oh, gosh.
And the last lyrics in this song, oh, I wish you well. So it takes you through the gamut of the whole thing. But it's like the first song, it's like A Thousand Beautiful Things. There's a little bit of, it's okay, you're gonna get through it. The love's not showing through the pavement cracks, but you'll get through it. There's a little bit of that. So yeah.
Yeah, it's a gorgeous song.
If this song had been on Diva, the whole world would know it.
Oh,
Again,
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And it could have been, in the sense of, yeah. But
and that was interesting what Mike had said about this being sort of the other side of Dark Road, which is another song that really speaks to me for other reasons, which we'll get to when we talk about Dark Road. Yeah, they are similar, and they really get you.
Yeah.
All right. Any other thoughts on Pavement Cracks? All right. Well, we're really turning up the energy with the next song.
So we have at my house, if there's something really good or a good meal or something, we do this.
That's good.
So, okay, next song.
All right. So the hurting kind. The hurting time. The hurting time. Ooh, I'm confusing Annie Lennox with Sheryl Crow. Shame on me. The hurting time. The song's like 8 minutes long, right? There's
32 seconds. Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
There's a synthesized harmonica solo. Now, Nick, let's just get this started. You always like to comment on the harmonica. How do you feel about the synthesized harmonica solo in the hurting time?
I actually think it's very pleasant. Believe it or not, that might come as a bit of a surprise, but maybe because it's not authentic, it could very well push it over the edge. It's subdued. It's not demanding your attention. I think that's what I look for in music.
Well, when I was listening, I remember the song, of course, from when it came out. And when I was listening to the album, this song's a vibe. I kind of like that it stretches out. She does some of her improvs. It's not a tight pop song like she does sometimes. And I like that she just kind of stretches out her arms and just lets the emotion kind of create a zone in this one. So this might be one of my favorites on the album, to be honest with you.
Good one.
Yeah. What's the panel's thoughts on this one?
I think it's a 7-minute and 32-second song. I think a 3-minute and 32-second edit would have helped.
Then I would have liked it a lot.
Me too. It was too long.
And I don't love the harmonica on it. I like the song, but I don't make it through 7 minutes and 32 seconds of it. I don't love the fake harmonica or whatever it is. Sorry, Nick.
Well, I guess the hurting time is like other things in my life. It's not too long.
And here's Jimmy Z.
Yeah, and here's Jimmy Z. So, Mike, what are your thoughts on this one?
I agree with you, Mark, again. I think it's a beautiful song. And I don't like the synthesized harmonica sound. I find it quite... But the song's great, and I just think, well, it's not a little tidy pop song. It's long. Give yourself over to it. It's beautiful. Perhaps strings instead of that harmonica would have been nicer, but I like it. It's a good song. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be cool to get an alternative version of it.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
I think there's a really great song hiding behind some synths.
Yeah, I have no problem with the length of the song.
No,
because it's making a statement. It's a mood. It's a statement, and it draws you in. And I'm good with that. But yeah, just that sound. Yeah.
Yeah, but after the high of 1,000 Beautiful Things and Pavement Cracks, it's kind of like a throw off to be thrown into that after those two exceptional songs.
Yeah, I understand.
Okay.
Lynn, do you have any thoughts on this one?
Didn't I already talk on
You already
this
talked?
one?
All right. I'm surprised that
I'm sorry.
me and Nick are the ones that like this song the most. Like, keep it 7 minutes and keep the harmonica as far as I'm concerned. I feel like it's just very soulful. Like it's that neo soul kind of. I feel like Annie wrote the book and then she, added a chapter with the song. Nick, do you have any further thoughts on it?
I do believe that it establishes a very good vibe. It was very bold, to put it nicely, to start off the album with 3 subdued tracks And on the first listen, I was ambivalent at best and maybe even leaning towards negative at worst in terms of the sequencing. But my opinion's heavily improved after the second and third listens for that matter. And I'm starting to finally understand the songs and the purpose that they provide. A Thousand Beautiful Things, I didn't mention this on the initial time, but I actually did know the song going into it. I didn't know it by name, but I had recognized it through some other means, whether that be on the radio. It was in some sort of context that I can't put my finger on, but I recognized the melody in some capacity. So that provided the link to this album. And it was great that she established it so that there was that level of familiarity going into it. But the momentum does die down a little bit, but you just need to demonstrate patience to appreciate what's there.
All right.
Nicely said.
Well, moving on. The next song is Honestly. I feel like a little bit of the melody from Love Song for a Vampire in this one to me. Like I just heard a little bit of that melody in there. Of course, the song's nothing the same. And I kind of like the call and response. Like she does the two different melodies on top of each other. I don't feel it's the catchiest. Like the Honestly hook is not my favorite. I feel like it's a little B grade pop hook because it's such a pop. I'm ready for like a Love is a Stranger chorus. Like Annie Lennox can write a damn chorus. If anyone can write a chorus, and then it's like, honestly. So that's about all I got for this one. Lynn.
For me, this song is what you hear in the middle. My father used to call them night devils. What you hear in your head in the middle of the night, and how it gets everything that you just different things that come at you. That's what this song is to me. And I thought it's brilliant, and how it just gets different threads of what you're kind of over and over repeating to yourself. So that's what it is to me. I like it for that.
Well said.
Yeah. Mark.
Well, it's classic Annie Lennox. It's the voices in her head.
Yeah.
It's why don't you keep your big mouth shut? It's Beethoven. It's the layered, overlayered lyrics of discussions. And so this is a crazy song. This is a crazy made song. There are layers of vocals competing with each other. And she did perform this live.
Yes, she did.
A few concerts of that tour. And the cool thing that I remember most, the stage changed, that there were light bulbs that came down, sort of big, but traditional looking light bulbs, but they were big. And so she's doing part of the song, of course, and then the backup singers are doing it. I don't know. And again, the first time I heard it twice in Tampa and then Atlanta. First two times I heard it, I didn't have the album, so I wasn't familiar with it. So I don't know how well it went over with an audience. And she talks about it, and different performers will talk about it. You perform songs live that you get a back and forth with your audience. So I don't know how well that did over with an audience because it is a very strange song. But I mean, it's a cool song when you're listening to it. I still would say, as many times as I've listened to it, I love to sing along. No one wants to hear me doing that. But
I'll take one part, Mark.
Do what?
I'll take one part. You take another.
But I mean, I still don't even know if I even in my head if I know the lyrics really well, because I mean, you have to fight to hear it sometimes because there's so much going on, and I love that about it. It's a very Eurythmics kind of song. I could see Dave and Annie could have done this. I think Dave would have loved to have done this song. I mean, just because it's strange and weird, and it's totally different than anything else. It's absolutely different than anything else she's ever done, solo at least for sure. But I don't know, Jeremy, if you said it, I mean, you could say a little bit of Love is a Stranger, all sorts of things, but just she loves to do these conversations. Anyway, someone else talk.
Yeah, Nick, what are your thoughts on? Oh, go ahead, Mike.
I think it captures beautifully the confusion and the torment when you're in that state and you've been through something major and your frustration and you're trying to sleep and all these fucking voices are going around in your head.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so well done. And I agree with you, Jeremy. The chorus, honestly, gets it's a little weak compared to the rest of the strength of the song. But I love where she sings, "Fools like me get so easily taken, and fools like me can be so mistaken."
Yeah.
Wow, that's just, it's just out of there. It's the best. That's so powerful. Yeah, love it.
And sometimes I feel bad on these podcasts because I'll pick out something I don't like about a song, but I like 98% of the song. It's just a little small gripe, but there's so much great to say about it.
I agree.
Lynn.
I'm going to read a lyric that I like. Oh gosh. Please, but everything I know, I turned myself into a person I didn't like, but please believe me when I say I know it wasn't right. Well, don't we can all relate to that one.
That's true.
At one point or another in our lives. Yeah, it was just brilliant.
And if you look at if you get the album and you look at the liner notes, and the design does it well. The different voices. One's in bold and one's in light face.
Yeah.
And you can read it. I tried and tried again to make you notice me, but talking to myself won't catch your attention, I see. But that's just a few words and all the other voices going through that Lynn just read. I mean, was I mad? Foolish me to succumb so easily. I mean, you're just crashing down. You thought you found the love of your life, and how could this have happened? I mean, this is a good breakup song. It's everything in your head.
Yeah.
So, Nick, what are your thoughts on this one?
Mark mentioned the layering of this song, and that's what I greatly appreciate about compositions where they start from somewhere and then they build into something as the song progresses and the lyrics become more and more impassioned, especially with the vocal delivery too. And that's demonstrated here quite a bit. In the second verse, there's the introduction of a counterpoint vocal melody, some additional brushwork that's either programmed or played live. I would need to listen to it again to determine which is actually the case. And it's a very surreal listening experience. This contrasts heavily with a song we were discussing 2 days ago for the Flu Mac podcast. There's a cover of I'm a Roadrunner, and the consensus there was that it was so one note. It starts off with this hoarse holler from Dave Walker with Mama, and then it ends with that same vocal timbre, and it just starts and ends at the same place. Meanwhile, the contrast here is just so stark, and I greatly appreciate the nuances that are infused in this composition.
Yeah. All right. Any other thoughts on this one? Well, next, I do have a couple promo singles of this one. Wonderful. Now, I remember the first time I listened to this song because it starts off, here's another mid-tempo. You know what I mean? But then where the fuck did that chorus come from? If you thought the chorus on Honestly was maybe didn't leave you a little bit to be desired, Annie, she gave it to us here. And, I haven't heard that. This is an album I listen to a lot, but when I was driving in my car and then that chorus kicked in, remember on Medusa, we just felt like Annie didn't give it her all sometimes in the vocals? Here it is. This is Annie letting it rip, giving it her all. And I loved this song then. I love it now. It's just it's what Annie does best. She'll deceive you with this verse is kind of chilled out of fucking nowhere boom, like she'll just rip off the scab, and I don't know. This is certainly one of my favorite songs on the album, and maybe one of my favorite Annie Lennox solo songs. Tell me there's nothing better than like driving your car, the windows are down, and you just sing along to this shit and feeling it. So, am I alone in this, or is there anybody else here that just absolutely loves this song?
I love it.
That was me this morning, Jeremy, with this song in my car.
And here's a little bit of that camp that we love from her. You know, I mean, it's a little campy, but still on theme with the album. You know, this is authentic, like bleeding through song.
David, you seem to agree that you liked it, I think.
Oh yeah. This is, I'm back on track now. I was like, got a little mellowed out, but this one, brought me right back, to my love for everything that's Annie. So yeah.
I think it's one of those things where you can see 80s Annie doing this. The come on here, look at me. There's a little bit of what's the song on Touch? Regrets. A little bit of regrets in this one or something, I think. But she did perform this live on the Ellen Show. It wasn't at the beginning of the album promotion. I think it's like she came back to it later.
But didn't she do this on the tour?
Oh yeah. She did on the tour. But
I hope Ellen was nice to her.
Oh Lord, let's not even go
Me
there.
too.
I was never an Ellen fan. So like sometimes things happen, I'm like,
Yeah, I saw that.
But she didn't.
Jeremy, we should have asked you.
She didn't talk to Ellen. It was one of those things she wasn't talking, but she did it kind of, it was at the front of the audience in just a little round circle. That's how she performed. And then when she, the chorus that would kick in, and and then she's going into the chorus, in this very small space at the front of the audience. But
picture an alternate universe where this was the lead single of the album and it had a killer video.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll never understand why the woman who made MTV didn't do any videos for this album. And she had done all of this photography that you could have translated into video. I will just never understand it. It would have been, again, we talk about it a lot, a missed opportunity. Perhaps you can't change anything.
Yeah,
you don't really know.
I just don't think she was prepared to do anything that she didn't feel like it.
And good for her, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
There it is.
Again, she had kids. She didn't want to do a whole lot. How old were her kids then?
They would have been,
They were school age. They were.
There were more important things, I guess.
Definitely more important to her, and that's fine.
And I certainly wouldn't want to explore the alternate universe where this album never happened at all. Because she's like, if I can't promote it, it never happened.
Yeah, good point.
The 2 points that I love in this song, as I'm looking at it, is when she says, "Does it feel cold, baby? Does it feel hot?" And then when she says, the next line is, "I want to hold you and be so held back."
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How great is that? I mean, just really classic.
She is an absolute poet on this album.
Yeah, she did just poetry.
I mean, when's the last time Annie put that much energy into a song? Because I love Diva, but I feel like this had that energy that, something from Savage might have had.
Yeah.
Oh, I think that in Mass Destruction, there were some songs in there.
Well, yeah, it's the next one.
Yes.
It is a slow build, and you're just knocked over when she kicks in. Literally kicks in almost.
Nick, did you already talk about this one? I'm so tired that I'm having trouble keeping track of the podcast.
No, that's completely fine, and I have not talked about it yet. The thing that drew me into this song was the very ethereal production with the swirling elements. You have it grounded with this mechanical drum machine pattern. I don't mean that in a negative way
right.
at all. keeps it grounded heavily. It's kind of the spine of the piece, along with the guitar arpeggio, and then around that you have all these cool swirling elements, whether that be a bunch of synthesizers. You have this very airy vocal delivery from Annie as well, and then you have the arrival at the chorus too, which is a wonderful destination for that matter. The song form should generally be a journey where you have the verse building up to the destination and then the chorus being the arrival, and this is a good demonstration of that quite a bit. Notice that there's a generous amount of reverb added on certain phrases, but not all phrases of Annie's vocals on the chorus, especially on the word feel. And I enjoy those little touches where those audio effects are used tastefully as opposed to just slathered on there entirely for the sake of it.
All right. Well, any other thoughts on Wonderful? Apparently, we all think it's wonderful.
Absolutely.
All right. So next is Bitter Pill. This one the production of this one kind of reminded me of 2003 a little bit. I thought this was kind of the time. It's not my favorite song on the album, but I don't hate it either. What do you guys think of this one?
It was one of the songs that she performed live, and,
Mhm.
and hearing it early on without the album, knowing the album, you instantly thought it was going to be a single.
Okay.
Now,
Absolutely.
but
I
you
agree.
instantly said, "Oh, that's got single quality all about it," and it could have been a single. It could have, I think it would have benefited from that. But I love the song. I think, in hindsight, I think I love other songs more than I do this song. But it was a favorite early on because it was a cool up tempo song.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Mhm.
I agree with you. It's like for me, it was pleasing the first listen, right? So, and it still is. It still is. And you know what I'm thinking right now, after some of your comments on the earlier songs, maybe I just need to listen to them all separately, not following some of the better ones.
Yeah.
You know?
All right. Anybody else? Nick, what are your thoughts on Bitter Pill?
So on my first listen, this song easily stuck out as a highlight. My thoughts going through my mind were probably, wow, finally a song with some grit and some guts. And then once I listened to the album again, and I did appreciate the more melancholic tunes, but this one was great on the first listen. It was great on the second and third listen. Love the distorted piano tones on here too. It's very upbeat, danceable. It does have a very much an early 90s feel, and I enjoy that music, and I'm glad that she was able to express that on this album too and add some variety, some nice punch to the album.
Yeah, good chorus. Great chorus on this one.
Good verses too. Good song all around.
I mean, it's an angry Annie Lennox here.
Yeah.
I mean,
And I like that.
how can I abide the taste of rage and anger burning me inside? How the hell will it ever change? Slowly driving me insane. Let me cover up this pain. Yeah, bitter.
Wow.
It's a great song.
And then the ooh, it means nothing to me
Yeah.
chorus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do like the chorus.
Yeah.
The third Shakespeare Sister album, I believe it was, had a single called Bitter Pill.
Oh, yeah. 3? The album 3?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think it was 3, yeah.
That's my favorite album by them.
Really? Okay.
Oh, I love that album. Well, they're all good. Every Shakespeare Sister album is good.
They
Who
are.
wrote that? Who wrote that Bitter Pill?
I think it was just Shaban, wasn't it? There, Marcy wasn't on the third album, right?
Yeah, it was
That's
just
right. Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
there's your podcast, Shakespeare Sister.
Would you guys, there's only what is there, 6 albums?
If that, yeah.
I do Shakespeare Sister.
I would too.
Oh, shit. I would fucking do Shakespeare Sister. We're just going to go on a little side note because it's my podcast. Because there's Sacred Heart, Hormonally Yours, 3 Songs from the Red Room, the acoustic. What's that acoustic one?
The
I can't remember the name
Oh,
of
I
it, but
can't think.
I have it. And then there's the reunion one.
okay.
Yeah, six. Oh, well. Oh,
And then
There
Mark
too.
has a song. You know, he has a connection.
Yes. Marcella Detroit wrote a song for my wife for Christmas.
really?
I think that's the coolest thing.
Oh,
You can find it on YouTube. I'll send you. I'll put it in the. Yeah, it's written by, and it was the coolest thing, you know. And she would, you know, message me and say, "I'm going to send you," and she sent me an early version of it.
oh,
And part of
Oh.
I had to tell her, you know, kind of what I wanted her to do and how I wanted it to be. And she has a part at the beginning. The lyrics are, there's part of the lyrics that say, "I love you." And I asked in the return, I was like, could I record saying "I love you"? And she went over with me how to do it, you know, that I would say it in the right rhythm so she could fit it in. And I had to, you know, get in a tiny little room so there was no noise. And so I recorded myself saying, "I love
you're so damn romantic, Mark.
you." Isn't it though?
Jeez. We're going back to Bear. All right.
Go back to Bear.
I got Joe Malone perfume for my Christmas gift.
Go on, move on, move
I
on.
got a rejection to the last person I had a question. All right. Speaking of bitter pill, right? Okay, so well, staying on theme, loneliness is next. What do you guys think of this one?
One of the best songs ever written. Go on, someone else talk.
No, I like this one. I felt like this one has a little bit of Eurythmics in it, don't you guys think?
Everything. Yeah. Why was this not a single?
Yeah.
It was such a great song. It still is such a great song.
Yeah. And it's one I don't think of all the time when I think of this album. When I was listening to it, I'm like, oh shit, I forgot about this one. This is a great song.
A really powerful song. It kicks off, it's upbeat the whole way through, and it just gets better and better. It's incredible. Love it.
It's kind
Amazing
of a wall of sound a little bit.
Yeah. It does sound very Eurythmics-esque.
Very.
Yeah. I love it.
Which would make sense since she was half of the Eurythmics.
Right.
Yeah.
Funny that. Yeah.
Funny that way.
But it did remind, like, especially the verses remind me of, like, maybe some of the production used on Savage, but then it goes into, like, a more Annie Lennox chorus. So, I love this one.
Savage is basically an Annie Lennox album with Dave doing some music. It's just it's such a female.
We said that at the time on the podcast.
I agree, though.
And so you're right. There's you could see certain songs that could have been, you know, on there. But my God, this is an amazing song. She did perform it sometimes on the Sacred Heart tour with Sting, and she did perform it on the Today Show once outside, and they ruined it because they, you know how they span the crowd and the crowd, like, yeah, and yells. And so you don't have a great recording of it from that because you've got the crowd screaming and yelling at the camera in bad spots. But I just can't get over how good the lyrics are. It's
so good.
If you said to me, rank it from 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, I'm going to say it's a 15. It's a 20. It just surpasses everything. It's an incredible song. I once bought I thought I was buying the Japanese version of this CD on eBay, and when I got it, it was just the regular US version, and they gave my money back and all that. So the point of that was, and I gave it to a friend who didn't really know much about Annie Lennox, and this is the song that he said, "Oh my God." It was Loneliness that he picked up on and said, "That's insanely good," and it is.
Then you had your hand up.
Well, can you indulge me? I'm going to read one. When I call your name, I'm going to scream out loud. I'll say, "Here I am standing in the crowd." You'll say, "Come to me with your open mind. You'll never know what you still might find. But you keep me here like a canceled flight, an empty train running through the night, an orphan child, a broken shoe, and I'm still right here looking out for you. Are you here for me? Because I'm here for you."
Mm.
Mm, mm, mm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Those are some great lyrics right there.
Oh my God, the whole thing. But that just gets me every time.
Mm. Yeah.
You could, I mean, I was listening to it this week and just,
And that's kind of like what I thought was missing from Medusa is those are nice covers, but none of those people can write lyrics as good as damn Annie. I mean, I'm not a Paul Simon fan. I'm sorry. I think Annie Lennox writes better lyrics. There's my hot take for the podcast. All right, David or Nick, what do you guys think of this one?
This certainly does have the Eurythmics blood infused in it, probably because it's very guitar oriented. I could see it being worked on by David Stewart. Obviously, he's not present on here, but I was missing, especially on the first listen, the Eurythmics feel, the production choices of Dave Stewart, and I certainly got it with this song. Starts off comparatively subdued, especially compared to the explosion of the chorus, where it does open up into that wall of sound that people have mentioned. And I love that dense production where you can kind of hone in on a couple of elements and then you can divert your attention towards different elements. And every single listen, you pick up on something new. And that's very much present here.
Mm.
All right. Any other thoughts on this one?
Jeremy?
Who was it?
Yes.
Oh,
There it is. So, so this the CD single, Soledad.
That's one of the 13 things on my want list on Discogs, you guys.
Oh my God, Mark looked pissed when you first put it up.
What's that? What's that? I missed it.
I'll show some titty if you
He
send me
totally
that.
looked pissed
Oh,
when you
we
held
will.
it up. Like he flashed on my screen and he gave this like really like
play.
look.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
that's not the Sting version of,
this
No,
is Annie Lennox singing Loneliness in Spanish.
From
can you
Nostalgia.
play it?
What's that, Lynn?
Can you play it?
Yes, ma'am.
Can we hear it, Jeremy?
No, because
Was
I'll
there a
get a
copyright
copyright strike on my podcast.
Oh,
If you
Not
okay.
even 10
Message me
seconds.
privately. But
Can
I
we
will
miss?
say,
All right.
so the song is exactly the same as the album, the arrangements, although
my
Annie
God.
is singing it throughout in Spanish. And I will say that with a lot of songs that are translated into a second language, it doesn't quite fit. The song, the words don't quite fit the melody, so it's a little awkward. It's for me, the English version, which is how it was originally written, is way better, obviously. Particularly when she says in that last paragraph, when I call your name, I'm going to say, here I am standing in the crowd, da 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 da. It all gets very complicated and awkward. But the good thing about this is that because she's pronouncing the words in a different language, you do, like you said, Nick, you do hear other sounds in the production that you're drawn into as well. They're more obvious. So it's an interesting mix, interesting song. And I have no idea how it came about. I know nothing about it.
that was what I was about to
Behind
ask.
it, I don't know.
I don't know.
Someday another one's going to come up on eBay. And don't anyone
Yeah,
bid
Share
against
that. You
me.
will share that with us, Mike?
Yeah, you want to private
Thank
message me? I'll flick it over
Yeah.
to you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I don't know why I just said that's from Nostalgia. I know it's from this album. I'm so tired, you guys.
This came from Australia, of all places. So
From where?
Australia,
Oh, what a strange country to have it come
very
from.
strange.
I
very
know.
strange.
One day I will have that CD. I'll be the third
that's
person to have a
lovely.
copy. All right. Well, any other thoughts? I do have to say one more thing about Discogs. I wasn't on this podcast, but David was on. One of my Blondie ones came up on because you get the notifications if something's for sale.
Yeah.
I only sleep like 3 hours of sleep a night because I just can't. I'm so busy. But one of them went up for sale and sold in that 3-hour window, and I was so pissed for like $6. One of my 13 things. So, all right, back to the podcast. Okay, the next one is the saddest song I've got. Now, I do have an issue with this song. Because I think she has some sadder songs. Like, I was listening, I'm like, I don't think this is the saddest song you've got, Annie. So right from the bat, I'm like, I think there's some sadder ones. But that's all I'm going to say. You guys take over.
Not my favorite saddest song.
I mean, she's got some sad freaking... Why?
Oh, she's some
Why is one of the
sadder
saddest
songs.
fucking songs of all time?
Well, the song before this is sadder than this sad song.
So I feel like it's really... That's daring. It's daring to be Annie Lennox and call a song the saddest song I've got when you've written why.
But I don't think she really means it that way. And I know that's an often criticism from it that it was, but she's got sadder songs. But quite frankly, I think it is an incredibly sad song, and I'm very drawn to it. And again, it's one of those that she does so well with drawing you in with the lyrics and rhymes. Darling, are you healing from all those scars appearing?
Yeah.
I've heard a lot. Don't know how it stops. And she loves repeating, and she's very good at that. Don't know how it stops. How there's no sense in seeing the colors of the morning. Can't hold the clouds at bay. Chase them all away. Chase them all away. I think it's an incredibly sad song. Is it her saddest song? I don't know. It depends on it. I think it depends on your mood. I think it depends on when.
I don't even think it's in her top 10 saddest songs.
No, I do. Yeah, I do.
Well,
You should have left the I've got out of the parentheses then.
Yeah, it's in parentheses. It's parenthetical.
I know.
Yeah.
I think if you haven't set it up as the saddest song and just say, here's a song, it's a good song.
Yeah, I can't get past the declaration.
Well, the title does set up these lofty expectations where it's bound to heavy scrutiny, where you're going to compare it to the rest of her discography. If you can find one song, then someone could be the one contrarian and say, actually, there's song A, song B, and that's sadder than this song. And if you go past the title, you might find something a little bit different. But I was kind of contextualizing this within the track listing, where you had these two fast songs, more upbeat than the others, with Bitter Pill and Loneliness. And I wasn't looking at the track listing when I had this on, so I was thinking, all right, we have these two really upbeat songs. Can't wait for the trifecta for another heavy-hitting song, and then I got this instead. And it did lead me to disappointment. It was just through a different pathway instead.
What do you guys think? What do you think is the saddest song Annie Lennox has got? Just off the top of your head.
Oh, I can tell you.
You Have Placed a Chill in My Heart's a damn sad song. I mean,
I think that's a not a sad song.
The one song that I can compare to this is The Gift.
The Gift is
where
that's
she
a sad
sings,
song.
For we have fallen from our shelves to face the truth about ourselves. So let's go out into the rain again, just like we said we always would. I mean, oh my God, that is so... Get your heart, rip it out.
Yeah, like soak the blood out of the heart.
Yeah, and this song, the last paragraph, and I'm frozen still, unspoken still, heartbroken, remembering something I forgot. I mean, oh, that's really...
It is a pretty song. It is a pretty song.
So, yeah, I compare it to The Gift. It is sad. It's gut-wrenching.
That's a great
Oh, did Mark freeze on us?
Yes,
Frozen.
he did.
He's frozen still, heartbroken still.
Heartbroken still.
Let's pause for a second. So, as you were saying, Mark?
Oh, the song Loneliness and the saddest song, they connect. If you're listening to them, the music at the very, very end of Loneliness pulls into the very beginning of the saddest song I've got. Just 2 or 3 seconds, but they connect. It's really interesting. Just that she connected them.
Mike, I'm jumping on a plane and getting that CD.
Come over. Come over.
I'm just messing. All right. Any other thoughts on the saddest song? The third saddest song she's got? I wish she would have named it something different because I can't get past that.
Yeah.
All right. Erased.
I love Erased.
Erased. What do you guys think of this one?
So good.
Yeah.
I think
Well, this is so clearly about the end of her marriage.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, I had the lyrics up a second ago. Oh, I can't. Here we go. Yeah, when she says, people in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. Maybe just something just flew through my window pane. I'll be in a brand new running shoes. I'll be walking through a different street in a brand new suit, in a clean, fresh suit, making phone calls. It's clearly about the end of her marriage.
When I heard this one, I really feel like the sequencing is telling a story.
Yeah, I think it's so visual. I think, and it's the part that you're referencing, Lynn. And you'll be walking on a different street in a brand new suit and a fresh, clean shirt, making telephone calls. I mean, you can see her husband. Who,
yes.
Was
we know who her husband was.
Yeah, I mean, you just. There's some other lyric about eating. Yes. You'll be sitting on someone else's couch. You'll be eating off a stranger's plate, and that is so visual. Mm-hmm. We've all done it. Where you can take a bite from your wife, husband, fill in the blank. That's such a personal thing, and it's such a memory for her. Or something, It's such a great visual song. I love this song.
I do too. It's so personal. This is so.
And it's not a woe begone song in the sense of, it's upbeat and it's crashing and it's great.
Nick, would you have liked it better if this was the third song and the sequence was flipped? So
it would probably help with the pacing quite a bit and soften the blow. It would make it more readily accessible, but I think that its place on the album here is fine enough, I suppose. When you have 5, 6, 7 slow songs on the album, you can only do so much with the pacing. Right. So you could say, all right, I'm going to have the beginning start off slow, and then it'll end up on a little bit of a stronger note. Or conversely, you can have a really strong start and then have it kind of die off. So in a bit of a difficult location here, different place to decide, all right, how am I best sequencing the song? Do I make it tell a story? That's probably the best way to do it.
Yeah.
In terms of the production elements, I really enjoy the heartbeat percussion. A lot of it's programmed, but I think it works well in this capacity. I also like the panning effects that are employed, especially with the strings, where you can hear it kind of go from the left channel and then it suddenly goes over to the right. And then the second time around, it does the inverse where it goes from the right into the left. I love all those cute touches that was edited. It was probably edited very late in production, adding all the polish, and those little decorations are what I love about any song, and they're usually present on Rhythmics and Annie Lennox, and that's the case here too.
Cool. All right. Any other further thoughts on this one?
Fantastic song.
Was the Shakespeare Sister acoustic album Cosmic Dancer or Cosmic?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Sorry, I'm back on that one. All right. Next.
Twisted.
I
think an Erased and Twisted are a combo that you've got to take together.
Yeah.
Very similar.
I love Twisted as well.
Yeah, I don't have a lot to say about this one, but I like it.
I think it's so visual, and I think, that, am I correct here, that she and Yuri, her second husband, they met in Japan when he was filming the Eurythmics brand new gay film. And so, and the memory that she's got here I remember everything you said to me. We went walking out in silence underneath the cherry tree, falling blossom, falling from the cherry tree. And so you're thinking those Japanese cherry trees, blossoms. And again, the visuals that you get from this. And if you know, she does not say this is an album about her divorce. I don't think she's ever said that specifically. People correct me if I'm wrong. But I mean, so we're saying a lot of things that perhaps we don't necessarily know.
Sure.
But if you know the context of it, you kind of get a sense of it. But I think, oh my God, I love this song too. I mean,
so beautiful.
Erased and Twisted, you can't have one without the other there. And I love them. Someone else talk.
Yeah, any other further thoughts on this one?
Well, there are more cool production moments on this song too. On the right channel, you have this every once in a while. It's probably every 2 or 3 bars. Enjoy that quite a bit. The synth bass, it's nice and bubbly. It's the production elements that usually draw me in, and it's very much present here. I love all of the cool details that are infused in these compositions, and I've probably said that before in this podcast, but it's true here. So that's why I'm mentioning it again.
Cool.
Good point.
All right. Further thoughts? All right. Oh, go ahead.
There's a great lyric I want to just say. What would it take to untie the twist in us? Because it's making my heart ache. Untie the twist in us. Jeez, that's good stuff.
Yeah.
Is Annie naked behind a guitar on your shirt?
Yes.
Right on.
This would have been a great cover too.
Yeah.
She did such great photography. You could have seen so many.
Oh, she's naked on the back of the wonderful one.
Ooh.
And she's naked on my mug. And okay, I know this for sure. Do you know whose guitars she was loaned to use for this?
No. Who?
Dave's.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's kind of odd.
How strange. There is a wonderful Bare was never released on vinyl with the exception of, I believe it's promo copies in Japan.
Yes.
And it's immensely elaborate. And I think there's an inside, almost like a cover, an inside cover that uses this, I believe this image with the guitar. I think I'm right. It's absolutely gorgeous. So I'm very hopeful that we will get a vinyl release. And if we do you have it? Are you about to show us the Japanese version? Is that what are you holding that, Mike?
No. I'm just looking at the photo shoot where she was naked and in the play. I mean, this in itself, her photography can speak for itself, quite apart from the music. It's amazing, just amazing stuff.
There it is.
Oh my God, I want it.
Yeah, that is great.
Yeah, I'm gonna take off my filter so you can see mine.
But yeah, the photography is incredible.
Yeah, it really is.
Did anyone attend her art exhibit?
No,
No.
I did.
I did. In New York?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
And now, was she there? She was there when you were there, or was it?
No, she wasn't there when I was there.
But how was
She
it?
heard I was coming and she didn't come.
Oh, jeez.
How was the exhibit? I mean,
It was beautiful.
How
it was just right as before I went to the UK. Yeah, it was lovely.
Wow. Well,
I have stuff somewhere. Things I've moved too many times.
Haven't we all?
Yeah, and I found a box this last week and I'm sending Mark something. It went off in the post, Mark, to you. Let me know when it arrives.
I didn't realize it, but that picture is in the liner notes.
Okay.
Yeah. What, 22, 23 years ago? I don't remember. I haven't looked at this. But anyway.
All right. Well, we have one song left. Oh, there we go.
Ooh.
Hey.
Yeah, that. Ooh. Okay.
That looked like a cat.
Now it's me.
Okay.
All right, well, we're down to the closing track on the album, Oh God, Prayer.
Oh God. Oh.
We were talking in our group chat how this is a divisive song. Some people said they love the raw vocals. They feel like it's a testament to the rawness of the album. That's one way to describe it.
Well, somebody.
Everyone's like, oh.
Well, Mark, you can't defend
Well, that was Phonogenics 101. I'd like to thank my Patreon subscribers. I have a new album coming out September 6th. No, but
Yay.
I mean, this song, I can feel that she was like getting something out. But it's like that thing I said earlier. Just because someone's going through a lot and they're channeling a lot into a song and putting a lot of angst into something doesn't necessarily mean it's a classic song. I feel like the intention of this song outweighed the song itself in a way.
Yeah.
It's never going to be a go-to moment. You're not gonna, it's not gonna be like, I've really got to hear that now. I've really got to hear that now. It's almost too dark, beyond that, the whole concept of it. But I can listen to it. I can. It took me a while. But
See, I feel like, not to give a contrary belief, but I feel like Take Me to the Darkest Place, I just don't think it's that good. Like,
Well, I think the reaction just pretty much says it all.
like Nick, what are your thoughts?
Well, my thoughts were very well summarized by you, where, oh, she's just being passionate. Her vocal delivery is so raw, but that falsetto, it just doesn't work. And her vocals are mixed so prominently in the mix. Ride cymbal is just going throughout most of the song. It catches your attention and detracts from it quite a bit. The entire package really doesn't work here.
Do you know what? There's one person on this podcast that knows exactly what this song is, and that's David Pratt. Because I've talked about this on a different...
Okay, yeah, I will. Because you know what? About Annie Lennox and her vocals, I actually always spoke about her like Annie Lennox can make any song good because her voice, and her just musical artistry until this song.
Yeah, for most cases, that is the case. I will grant her that. This is not the home run that is found on Why or all of her other songs.
Yeah.
Do we have any other contrary beliefs from the gallery of...
Nick, I don't know if you were on yet, but I mentioned that I have a friend who says you should listen to Bare backward. That you would start with Oh God and go all the way through, because you end up being on 1,000 Beautiful Things and you end up in this uplifting place. The only flip side to that concept is you have to start here, and it's a rough start.
That's such a high barrier to entry, though, and you would probably alienate most listeners from listening to the actual decent tracks on the album. So that's the issue I have with that idea.
That's the album that we call E-Rab.
And I think his idea is that that he thinks that she intended that you would end up with 1,000 Beautiful Things, because they always like to end a concert sort of on an uplifting with the Miracle of Love or When the Day Goes Down or something. But there would have, if the record company was like, we're not sure about this cover, the record company sure was like, you can't start with that.
Well, I've told this story on the Blondie podcast, and David heard it before. But I'm gonna now grace it on the Annie Lennox series. I was at an event in 2002 with my friend Rhonda, and they were just very taking themselves seriously. And that's where we termed the phrase that there's art. And then there's art. I feel like Oh God, Prayer is art.
Well,
Annie's making art.
Sure.
All right. Well, we did it again. We only have 2 albums. No, 3 albums left. 2 podcasts. We're going to combine 2. But Bare, Annie Lennox, Phonogenics scale 1 to 10. What do you guys rank this one?
Who are you starting with?
Well, Mark, you're always in my top left, so.
Despite Oh God, prayer.
Art.
If I could give it more than a 10, I would.
Oh,
Again,
shit.
This is Annie Lennox's best solo album by far.
All right, David.
You know what? On the strength of 1,000 Beautiful Things and Pavement Cracks and a couple of other songs, because like I need like 4 killer songs on an album to think an album is like rated kind of high, right? So, because I need like 4 possible singles so that, you know, if it's my favorite band, they'll have 4 hits. So I'm going to give it a 9 based off of that. But yeah, I like my upbeat Annie. I like my angry Annie. You know, there's certain things about Annie that just nobody else can do. So yeah, but I'll give it. What did I give it?
A 9.
Okay.
I thought that was very well said.
All right, Mike Wilson.
If we eliminate Oh God, then absolutely 10 out of 10. Stellar. Absolutely. One of probably her best album. Yeah. And such a nice comeback from Medusa.
Yeah.
Yeah. 10 out of 10.
Lynn Foster Robinson.
So, Oh God aside.
Yes.
10.
Yeah. 10.
All right, Nick.
So my initial review was going to be actually very mixed and probably would have been one of the lowest ratings I've ever given on any Phonogenics podcast. I was probably thinking around the range of a 5, believe it or not. But after the second listen, that's shot way, way up. It's probably not going to be as high as anyone else on this panel, but I would probably give it around a 7.9 or an 8, and that's subject to improvement as well. Sequencing is very key here, and I think that usually the last song of the album should end on a strong note. It should serve as a dessert, but when that dessert has been past its expiration date, it's spoiled, you want to make sure you avoid that. And unfortunately, we do have spoiled pudding here at the end of the album, so that does tank the rating a bit.
Ow, spoiled pudding.
Well, I think about what I love about Annie Lennox. And what I love about an Annie Lennox album is that you have your songs that are pissed. You have the pop songs. You have the sad songs. You have a journey. To me, this album is just a little heavy. And I know that's the mission statement of it. But I think I'd probably give it an 8 also. I know that's controversial, but I think I would probably listen... I would listen to No More I Love Yous before anything on this album, probably. Honestly. I know that's shocking to say, but maybe Pavement Cracks. Maybe Wonderful. But other than that, like, it's just kind of a vibe, and it's not a place that I'm looking to go for myself, because it's just dark. And I'm glad she created that art. I think it's art like that is great hanging in a gallery, but I don't know if I want to visit that a lot. So for me, I give it an 8, I think.
That's hard. No More I Love Yous. I mean, God, that's one of the best songs out there. So
Yeah.
that's hard comparison.
I mean, that's just such a glorious song. And nothing on Medusa to me touches that song. I mean, that's head and shoulders above anything else on that record.
Yeah.
Well, we have a lot to talk about still. The next one, are we going to talk about the Lord of the Rings song next podcast?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so we'll start with that. We'll do the Mass Destruction and the couple songs from the collection.
All right.
All right, friends. Well, any other thoughts? Are we all still friends? Even though...
Yes.
Always.
I
have a thought.
Okay.
Send out the Shakespeare Sister invites for whatever time next year.
Yeah.
God, there's some songs in that 3 album I just really, really love.
And I don't know if we need to discuss September because 2 people happen to have their birthday coming up.
Okay. Well, let me close this off, then we'll chat for a second.
Okay.
And you know what, Mark? I feel like Bitter Pill is from the 4th Shakespeare Sister album, not the 3rd one.
It may be.
It's on the Red Room because that's the video where she's like running through the woods with the black hair.
I think you're right.
Okay.
Thank you.
We're gonna still chat for you, but thank you to my Patreon subscribers, especially this month because the bill's due in September. So thank you all for paying the bills, and then we will see you next month. Bye, everybody.